Hi everybody, it's Mr. Lou. This is page 81. Solve, draw bar models to help you. Okay, we're going to draw bar models to help solve this word problem. And again, we're going to take it one sentence at a time. Mr. Tsuzamoto's factory makes 1,793 toys each day. Okay, so here I'm going to draw my first bar model. Alright, and I'm going to label it T for Tsuzamoto. And on top, I'm going to write that he has 1,793 toys that he makes every day. Okay, the next sentence says, it makes 157 more toys than Mr. Jefferson's factory. So we know that Mr. Tsuzamoto makes more toys than Mrs. Jefferson's factory. So here's my next bar model. I need another bottle for Mrs. Jefferson. So here's my bar model for Mrs. Jefferson. I'm going to put a J for Jefferson. And I know that because it says Mr. Tsuzamoto, or it makes 157 more toys, so that means Tsuzamoto makes more toys. How many more? Well, it's in that empty space right here. He has, in this empty space, 157 more toys. So that's where my 157 goes. Okay. How many toys does Mrs. Jefferson's factory make each day? So that's my question mark right here. How many toys does Mrs. Jefferson make each day? Okay, so looking at this bar model, this does look like a subtraction problem because we're trying to find the difference, or we have two parts and a whole. There's a lot of different ways we can say this, but it's finding the difference to figure out how much Mrs. Jefferson makes. So we're going to subtract 1,793 and 157. And we're going to subtract that. Okay, so let's line these two numbers up and down. 1,793 minus, and again, be careful when you line it up and down, 157. Be careful when you line it vertically. Make sure you have the right place value, you have it correctly lined up. Okay. 3 minus 7 can't do it because 3 is smaller, so I gotta regroup. Take one of my 10s away. Add 1 here add 10 here makes it 13. 13 minus 7 is 6. 8 minus 5, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. 7 minus 1, well that's 6. And 1 straight down. So I know I have 1,636. Okay, let's put that right in my bar model. Oops. So I'm going to get rid of my question mark. And I'm going to put my answer 1,636 in my bar model, because I know right now that's how many toys Mrs. Jefferson's factory makes. So again, here I'm going to put my answer again, 1,636. And here, of course, Mrs. Jefferson's factory makes 1,636 toys each day. Okay. And the reason why I put it back into my bar model is so that it makes it easier to do part B. If Mrs. Jefferson's factory sells 698 toys, how many toys does her factory have left? So we need to know Mrs. Jefferson's factory, which we do know right up here, that she makes 1,636. So I'm going to redraw that bar model right over here. And you know what? I'm going to use a different color. Let's use the same color. Okay. And I'm going to label that again, 1,636. Now she sells 698 toys. So what I need to do with my bar model is I need to split it. Because here is how many toys she sells. I'm going to put an S for sells. And here is how many toys she has left, or an L for left. So we know right now she sells 698 toys. So I want to figure out how many she has left. And when I split something apart, what I'm really doing again is subtracting. So I'm subtracting 1,636 and 698. And I am subtracting those two numbers. And again, I'm going to line it vertically or up and down to help me subtract 698. Okay, and let's subtract this out. 6 minus 8, can't do that because 6 is smaller, so I gotta regroup. Take 1 tens away, add 10 here. 16 minus 8, okay, 16 minus 8, let's think about that. Well, that's 8. Now I have 2 minus 9, can't do that, so I gotta take 1 away, add 10 here, take one of my hundreds away, add 10 tens here. 12 minus 9, well, that's 3. 5 minus 6, can't do that because 5 is smaller, so take 1 thousands away, makes that a 0, add 10 hundreds here, that makes it a 15. 15 minus 6, think about that, that is 9. Okay, and that 0 comes down. So now I know I have 938 toys left. 938. So Mrs. Jefferson's factory has 938 toys left. And again, what I like to do always is to write it again in my bar model. So here we go, 938 toys left. And that is page 81.